IDF have moved into the Gaza Strip in significant military strength with tanks, infantry, engineers, supported by artillery and attack helicopters and UAVs. And they're making, I believe, quite significant progress. There have been reports today that they have destroyed a great deal of the Hamas infrastructure inside Gaza, killed around 4 senior Hamas leaders. And as far as I'm aware, there have been either none or very limited Israeli casualties, but that hasn't yet been confirmed. So I think it's so far progressing pretty well. It'll be probably a continuation of strikes from the air while the ground operations going forward, and probably an increase in the number of IDF forces inside Gaza. And it may well be that they then, not as well as trying to destroy Hamas inside Gaza, they try and push the civilian population out of the north of Gaza and prevent those civilians who've already left from returning into Gaza from the south, into northern Gaza from the south. The IDF is keeping its plans very, very secret. The last thing they need is for people like you and me and others and viewers to understand what's happening, because of course then Hamas would understand it, and that's what they don't want. But I think it's likely that there will be an increase in ground forces going into Gaza to do even more significant damage to Hamas. And probably as well, I would expect the IDF to start trying to push out those civilians, or some of those civilians who remain in the north, down to the south, and indeed prevent those who are in the south from returning to the north, despite Hamas's efforts to try and keep as many civilians in the combat zone as they can. The Air Force has done as much as it can on its own from the air over the last 3 weeks. And they've now got to the point where they have to have ground forces to finish off the job. And I don't say finish off the job meaning it's going to be over soon, but to deal with the enemy on the ground that can't be reached from the air. And the other factor that we should all remember as well is that the IDF mission includes trying to rescue the over 200, I think 240, whatever the number now is, of hostages that Hamas is holding inside Gaza. That can't be done, obviously, except from the ground and using ground forces to try and locate them exactly where they are and then try and rescue them.